Hello, beautiful people. Welcome once again to A Doctor's View. Today, I'm with Dr. Alexis once again. Dr. Alexis, can you say hi?
Hi.
Oh, wow. Without further much ado, let's just jump into the first clip. Do you remember the scene?
Yeah, it got really so intense.
Yeah, it was like really intense. The real.
Yeah. You see, it's like struggling.
Yeah.
Struggling.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot. And then he's just sort of
just holding it in there.
just collapses. Gosh.
Okay,
Yeah,
I think
that was super. That was
It was intense, wasn't it? I think it's very clear to everybody that he was really struggling with breathing.
Yes.
Can you tell us what you see?
Yeah. So I think the first thing I want to mention is that he is, as you can see, he's running out of breath and he's almost choking there.
Exactly.
This term, we have a term for it in medicine called asphyxia.
Okay, you need to break that down.
Yeah, so basically it you can divide it into two. So in Greek, A is without and sphyxis is squeeze. So basically the air or the oxygen has basically been squeezed out of him, if you think about it like that.
Yeah, okay.
And that's what asphyxia is.
So can you tell us what causes it?
Yeah, so there's a few causes.
Okay.
Things like drowning, carbon monoxide poisoning.
I think that's what the emissions in cars are for, right?
Exactly. It can also be caused by respiratory diseases or, things like, so this is like chest infections, asthma, all those sorts of things, and including changes in pressure and also strangling as well. So there's a few things that can cause asphyxia.
And what's the sign or what was the symptom of an asphyxia?
So the main signs is kind of like what you saw in the clip.
Oh, okay.
Which is he's struggling to breathe, increased respiratory rate, he's using extra muscles to breathe, and in really bad cases, he can turn blue, he can turn all sorts of colors if you're lacking oxygen as well.
So from what you're saying, it's quite obvious that anybody who is asphyxiated would definitely need oxygen as management, right?
Absolutely.
But is there anything as medic you use that state for?
So when it comes to doing major surgeries or procedures, we can use things like sleeping gas is a common term. And basically these are agents that you can use to sort of quote unquote knock a person out before any surgery or procedures are done.
Yeah, I think I quite remember when my wisdom tooth was taken out at the dentist. Yeah.
You'd have been thankful for some knockout gas at that point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's good. I think we should keep moving on to our next clip then.
Yeah, let's do that.
Wow.
We'll bang.
Wow.
I love these scenes in Mission Impossible. Like it's just you're on the edge of your seat, just like what?
And I don't think any movie does it as much as Mission Impossible. Like
definitely not.
Ooh.
Oh my days! The amount of flips. It's like a gymnast or something. Like
the airbag, the car, and everything.
Yeah. Oh my
Wait,
days.
he's still up. Wow. Okay, we all know that it's not feasible. It's not even visibly bleeding.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
Come
not
on.
A scratch.
Okay, so what did you see?
So what I saw here is something that's very common in a lot of road traffic accidents, actually. It's whiplash injury.
Oh, okay.
So what that is basically your neck is thrown forward and backward in a very sort of sudden and quick manner, causing lots of damage to the neck muscles and the bones and, a lot of the nerves there. And it can result in, neck pain, stiffness, headaches, all sorts of things. So there's varying degrees of it, but it does cause some trouble when when you do have like a whiplash injury.
Yeah, so tell me, what do I do in such a scenario if I have one? I know that I'm going to call my insurance to get some money, but what should I do in terms of my health?
So in terms of your health, so the NHS website has a really good sort of breakdown of do's and don'ts.
Okay.
So what you should do is, if you find that you've still got lots of neck pain, shoulder pain, you can take things like paracetamol and ibuprofen. The neck stiffness should ease after a while.
Okay.
But the main things is if you get more worrying or red flag symptoms like tingling, pins and needles in your limbs, electric shock sort of feelings down your spine, that's when you might want to take yourself to the to A&E or to urgent care just to get checked out.
Yeah, it sounds really deadly if you just leave it untreated.
It is, yeah, and there's almost 500,000 reports of whiplash in the UK.
That's a huge number.
So yeah, it's really common, but obviously you have to look out for signs of major injury as well.
As you said, look out for signs of major injuries and get a medical checkup to be on the safer side.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, moving on then. And you know that most of his stunts, he does it himself. Like,
I know, that's absolutely crazy. Like
he really goes all out for it. Ooh.
Gosh.
My goodness. Wow, that's deep. That's really deep.
It is. It's like the world's worst and best water slide.
yeah. I think it can go for both.
Yeah.
Wow.
Goodness.
Wow.
Yeah, that was really intense. Yeah.
I can't swim that deep, to be very honest. I always
dive.
stay on the shallow side of swimming pools. Tell me, what did you see?
So what he did was take a plummet straight into really deep waters there, and I think the main things is when you're descending that quickly from the surface to deep waters like he did, you have to bear in mind compression, and obviously the more deep you get underwater, the more pressure there is on your body. So I can imagine that if this was real life, that'd be very hard to come out with.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what will happen to him if he needs to come out, and if he comes out with the same speed with which he went in?
So what you would actually get is something called diver's disease.
Oh, okay.
Or so it's also called decompression sickness. It's also called the Benz or caisson's disease.
Okay.
And basically, if you ascend at a very fast rate, what can happen is some of the dissolved gases that are already in your bloodstream, they can form air bubbles in all sorts of places in your body. Okay. And therefore, when you come out, it can start to cause problems. And you get a variety of symptoms like joint pain, headaches, fatigue, weakness, and even something like what's called a gas embolism.
So you mean the gas in my blood will just
huge,
like they just come together and just
that's exactly it. So your body works to have like all these gases are already dissolved in your blood and in your normal plasma, that's what we call it, but at these different pressures, they can actually come together in little bubbles. And they can wreak a bit of havoc on your body as well.
So what will be the management strategy for such?
So the management for this actually is, a lot of it is prevention. So a lot of deep sea divers now, what they do is they make sure that they ascend at a slow rate. And sometimes they use a recompression chamber. But as well as high flow oxygen therapy. So lots and lots of oxygen.
Okay, so I'm going to add that to one of the reasons why I don't do deep diving.
I know, right?
Yeah, I'm just going to just tell myself that, hey, I'm prevented Casson's disease.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Exactly.
As always a pleasure to have you, Dr. Alexis. Those who might not know her, Dr. Alexis, can you do us the honors?
Yeah, so as Dr. Abrams said, my name's Alexis. I'm a doctor who works with elderly patients or in care of the elderly, and I work in South London.
Wow, if you need to follow her, I'm going to leave her details up on screen. Please do follow her. She's also an artist. I don't know why she didn't bring that up. She's also a very good artist. And yeah, it's been a pleasure being with you today. We'll catch you on our next episode.